guys? It's your boy J-Dog, and we got UFC Serbia this week. It's actually a pretty decent card. I'm actually hyped for this card more than the Abu Dhabi card last week. So, yeah, this is a sick card. I just got finished watching Czech Congo versus Pat Barry for the 100th time. They posted the best first round knockouts, and it always seems Pat Barry and Czech Congo are in every single UFC compilation with greatest knockouts, greatest comebacks, greatest rounds, everything. It's always there. So I'm always watching that. I genuinely probably watch that fight like 3 to 4 times a month just because it's always popping up. But yeah, nothing wrong with seeing Pat Barry get slimed out after basically beating Czech Congo and knocking him out twice. But we're here for the picks. Here we go. The UFC website can't update their thing, so we're going to be back and forth through Marcel and the website and get in the right bout order, hopefully. We're following Marcel's bout order.
Bruh. I literally didn't have my microphone in front of me, bruh. So the audio is not up to par, which I'm mad about, because what was I thinking? I'm just dozing off recording, but I didn't want to re-record the video because I felt like it was just like my genuine first take, and I don't want to go back and have to re-record because I tweak out at the co-main event. I don't want to have to re-record and like act like I'm tweaking out, or because I made my pick by the end. You know, you'll see if you watch it, but yeah, I didn't want to re-record. I got the mic here now, but the rest of the video is not going to be ideal microphone quality, but I'll make sure I get it right in the future. I've mostly gotten it right. One time I had the mic muted fully for a whole prediction video. I think that was 318. I had to re-record it. But this one's doable. It's just going to be a little lower quality of the microphone, but I'll make sure it's in line next time. I just want to say that because, yeah. Anyway, into the predictions, bruh.
Starting off with Marina Spasic versus Stephanie Luciano. Spasic's Serbian, I'm pretty sure, so that's why she's gotten signed. Luciano, I saw her fight in Vancouver. Had a good win, but the chick she beat does suck. Oliveira, she's like 0-3 in the UFC now, so it was a good win though. She was winning that fight dominantly, even got the finish. I haven't seen anything as Spasic, but we're gonna go Stephanie Luciano. I do think she's pretty good. She is a bit small. I don't know how small Marina is, but she is a bit small. But I think she's going to win this one. The decision might go to Spasic since she's in Serbia. But we're going to hope Luciano makes it pretty confident that she won or gets the finish, you know. She is a good grappler, so we'll see. But I'm going to go Stephanie Luciano. Next fight, Jovan Leka versus Alexander Poppeck. I'm going to go with Jovan Leka. I looked at his record before. I haven't looked at it literally today, but I looked at his record, and I think it's just better. Bro, what the pits am I doing? Let me just look this thing up, bro. I literally looked it up, and he had a good record, I'm pretty sure. Or he just beat better people. Because these are two guys that I don't know. 21-5 is the other guy, and he's 13-2. So I think he just beat better competition. I'll be honest, I don't know much about this fight. Two guys just getting signed to the UFC. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Jovan Leka to win this one. Not much else behind it. Yeah, I don't know what the... Okay, now we're back to the UFC. We're gonna be back and forth, man, because this is wrong. This is right. Nina there's a lot of Serbian names here. Milosevic versus Hailey Cowan. I'm gonna go with Nina to win. I'm pretty sure she's Serbian. What the piss? Okay, she's not anything, it says, but I'm pretty sure she's Serbian, so she's getting the fight here. Hailey Cowan, 7-5, not a great record, and she did get slimed out by the knee against Pereira in her last fight, so yeah, not much hope in Hailey Cowan, but like I just did in the first female fight, I just think Luciano is UFC caliber, but I don't think Hailey Cowan's really UFC caliber. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Nina to win this one. Dude, okay. There's a couple of tough fights. The top 3 fights I'm a little iffy on this whole card. Main event, co-main, and featured fight. This one I'm iffy on, dude. And I think I might put money on Prepolec at the plus 325. Because you never know, right? This one's so hard. Looking records-wise, Rebecki 20-5. Prepolec 18-10. Obviously, there's a clear difference here. Prepolec's 0-4 in the UFC. I just really... The only thing hurting me here is Rebecki's last performance. Obviously got submitted by Grant Dawson. And we, as I said, I think in that prediction that his scar tissue is really bad. Obviously, he's going to get cut easily. But he's a dog, so that's what I like about him. So I'm going to go with Mateusz Rebecki. I'm going to go with Mateusz Rebecki to win this one. I just feel like this is a winnable fight, actually, for Kyle Prepolec, I feel like, honestly. So with Rebecki, he was doing good in the Grant fight. Dropped him twice, I think, but just could not get the finish. And then got submitted, obviously. Beating Oral By is a good win. He had that scrap with Duncan. Had a good scrap with Klein, which we're gonna get to in this prediction. But yeah, I think he's a good little dog. He just gets cut really easily, and I did not like how he didn't jump on that finish against Dawson, where I really did think he could have got the finish there. I'm pretty sure he went to the ground with Dawson when he was hurt, so that's where he messed up. With Prepolec, the reason why I see upside to him is because he came in on short notice to fight BSD in Montreal, and he did good in the first round. He did decent against the first round against BSD, who, he looked good, decent in that fight. And then even when he fought Drew Dober in Vancouver, I saw that fight. When he fought Drew Dober, he was doing decent in that fight. And Dober was down. I think it was 1-1. But with the point deduction for the nut kick, the nut shot that Dober did, Dober knew he needed the finish. And so he got that's what turned him on, pause, for the finish, pause. And so he finished Prepolec, pause. Because he knew he needed to get a finish because he wasn't winning a decision. But the fact Prepolec had a round in that fight and possibly could have won it if it went to decision. The fact he looked alright in the Benoit Saint Denis on short notice, was doing well in the Dober fight, to be honest. But it was 1-1, but with the point deduction, that's what threw Dober into getting the finish. So Prepolec, he is 0-4. He's not great. BSD's a decent guy, decent fighter, so that's fair, and Dober's decent too. And so I do see upside in Prepolec as betting wise, but I'm going to go with Mateusz Rebecki, but I think this one's close. I talked about this one for a minute, dude. What the piss is the order of this card? Okay, this one I'm Dennis Buzukja versus Bogdan Grad. I was 50-50 on this fight, honestly, too. Dennis Buzukja, I think he's like 1-3 or 1-4 in the UFC, and Bogdan Grad's 1-2 in the UFC. Both kind of trashy, but Buzukja literally got bazooked by Mauricio Barboza. I was trying to think of his name. Mauricio Barboza, he nuked him out. Bad in the first round. In Canada, it was the Montreal card too, wasn't it? The Quebec card. Crazy. And I was thinking of maybe picking him. Bogdan Grad, literally 1-2 now. But I think I'm going to go with Bogdan Grad. And the reason I'm going with Bogdan Grad is because he fought Muhammad Naimov, who's decent, but he also fought Luke Riley, and he has good grappling, and he did well in that first round, very well. And that's surprising that he did that well against Luke Riley, to be honest. Obviously got chinned in the second round, but... Oh, wait, what the piss? I need to move my camera. But I'm going to go Bogdan Grad. Not confident at all, to be honest. Who did Dennis Buzukja fight? Mauricio Barboza, he got nuked by. Francis Marshall's decent. He beat whoever that is. I don't even know. lost to Jamal Emmers, and lost to Woodson. So these aren't horrible losses, to be honest. And he has one win. I don't even know who it is. Where? Yeah, he beat Alexander. I don't even know who this is. So he beat someone I don't know. The other Dennis Buzukja beat someone I don't know, and they both lost to people I do know. So they both have decent losses and decent wins, to be honest. But I would just rate his losses a bit higher. Luke Riley and Muhammad Naima was decent. So I'm gonna go with Bogdan Grad. Not sold, not confident, but I'm gonna go with Bogdan Grad. Another fight that they can't update the thing. This fight I was very 50-50 on too. Mark Vologdin, obviously a sick little scrapper, and Josias Musasa. I'm holy piss. I'm like special. He's 0-2 in the UFC. Lost to an old man, which is crazy, and then obviously lost to Colby Thickness, who I don't think is that good. But the updated fight now is Mark Vologdin versus this Borislav Nikolic. And I'm going with this Borislav guy. Yeah, I think he's going to win. I was probably going to pick Josiah Musasa to beat Mark Vologdin originally, but I wasn't sold on it. But I'm a bit more sold on Borislav winning. I just didn't like Mark Vologdin's debut. Now, obviously, had that banger fight on the Contender Series and lost it, but he still looked decent in that fight. But in his debut, he didn't look that good, and the reason it went to a draw is because of a nut shot he took. Otherwise, it was obviously John Giannis 29-28. So, yeah, he would have lost that fight. He's just super small, not able to get his shots off, I feel like, at times. And so this one is very 50-50 still, just because we don't know much about Borislav, to be honest. I don't, at least. But yeah, I'm going to go with Borislav to win this one. Off of vibes. Oban Elliott versus Michael Oliveira. Now I was going to be like, who's this Michael Oliveira guy and why is he such a big favorite? I might pick Oban Elliott, honestly. I'm going to go with Michelle. I don't know if it's Michael or Michelle. I'm going to go with Oliveira, man. This guy is nasty. His Contender Series, he has a Contender Series fight, so that's why he's got the black and white photo. His Contender Series fight was nasty. Crazy knockout. And Oban Elliott, not really liking his path that he's had in UFC. Obviously, the Mikolav fight, he looked decent in the first round, but got finished in the second. Had nothing against Cowan this fight. Beat Basil Hafez, which crazy KO, which was good at the time. But then like these other guys, I know Woodburn lost to Bo Nickel, but like bro, people like rated this high maybe because he got the KO, but still Basil Hafez, man. And then lost his last two. So, and I think he's getting a killer in Oliveira here, man. So I'm gonna go with Michel Oliveira or Michael, probably Michel. I'm going with Michel Oliveira to win this one. He is a decent sized favorite too, but I was kind of confused at first. But I saw his fights, I saw his record. What is his record? I'm pretty sure he's like undefeated. Okay, well he's not. Well, like that's not telling me anything, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Michel Oliveira to win this one. Next up is at the end. Okay, headlining the prelims. Ludovit Klein versus Tofiq Musayev. Man, I'm going with Ludovit Klein. This guy's sick. Not only is he a sick boxer, very good fighter. Very entertaining too, I feel like, in my eyes. So I'm very happy with him taking this fight. But this is also a Tofiq Musayev hate watch. And if it was him versus some bum, you know, it'd be hard, and I'd probably pick Musayev if it was some bum, but Klein's actually good. And Musayev, the reason this is a hate watch is because Tofiq Musayev fought in UFC Seattle recently in March. He fought Ignacio Bahamondes. Dude. That's like stuck in my head. That's the way I picked him. It's in the if you watch my Seattle recap, it's right at the beginning there. I put it in the beginning because it's just, for some reason, it's super funny, but Bahamondes also just got a fight, but whatever. Tofiq Musayev, literally cage grabbing, head butting, nut shot. I don't know if there was a nut shot. There may have been a nut shot, but multiple cage grabs. There was a literal head butt he did, And I don't even know who the ref was. Probably Herb Dean. Let's just be for real. You know what? Let me quickly look. I think I can find this quick. All right, for the Bahamondes fight, it was Bobby Wombacher as the ref. Lucky, I was like, dude, if this would be the most Herb Dean moment in the world, but it wasn't. But yeah, Ludovit, Klein, Tofiq, Musayev. It's obviously a hate watch, but also Ludovit Klein is very good. The only thing scaring me is Ludovit Klein fought in October, so he has had by this time it would be 8, 9. He would have had like around 10 months off. But in his last fight in October, he did break his ankle or break his foot or something. He literally could not stand. So, we're gonna be hoping that the ankle or leg or foot, whatever, holds up. That's the only thing scaring me about this, because that could easily happen, and then it's just a free win for Tofiq, right? Basically a McGregor moment, basically. But yeah, I think Klein's very good. I think his boxing, Tofiq. I think his boxing is going to be very good in this fight. I think his defensive grappling could stop. We're going to be hoping it stops at least. But yeah, Tofiq's decent. I think that Ignacio obviously cracked him and dropped him and almost took him down before he had to cheat and hold defense. But yeah, you know what it is, man. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, right? But yeah, we're going to go with Ludovit Klein. I think he's very good. And we need to see Tofiq get slimed out and lose this fight. Oralbai already I think it was Oralbai, right? Yeah, Oralbai already finished him via Kimura, so we're good. This is a crazy fight. I didn't even notice the record. 24-5-1, and he's 23-6. So very close record too. But yeah, we're gonna go Ludovit Klein to win this one to finish off the prelims. And then what's the first fight? Is it this one? Yeah, okay. This is the first fight. Milo, I don't know, man. These accents on the numbers, on the letters. Milos Janicic versus Noah Gugnon. I'm so bad, bro. Holy piss. But I looked at the records. I didn't look at them today, but I looked at the records originally when I was picking. I think Milos has the better record, better competition that he's fought, so I'm going to go with Milos to win this one. But again, 50-50 maybe, because I do not know anything on this fight. And then we're just back to the main card, so this is all correct from now on. Vlasto, Cepo versus Gilbert Urbina. You know, I'm rooting for Gilbert here, man. Is he going to win the fight? No. Gilbert's not going to win this fight. I'm going to pick Vlasto Cepo to win this one. He's from Serbia, I'm pretty sure as well. Does it say? No, they didn't update it. I'm pretty sure he's from Serbia. I think his record was pretty decent as well, where Gilbert is literally 7-5. The only thing really making me root for Gilbert is he's got the Diego Lopez style. You know, he's got the hair at the back. He's got the short hair on the top. He looks like another Diego Lopez, middleweight Diego Lopez. So we're going to be rooting for Gilbert, but I do not think he's going to win. He got finished by Uros Medic. He dropped Uros Medic, but then he also got finished by him later. That's all I know. I'm just thinking Vlasto is going to win. So I'm going to go with Vlasto to win this one. Dusko Todorovic versus Robert Valentin. I didn't know Dusko was Serbian. So it makes sense why he's on this card and so high up. But I think Dusko's kind of trash. I think his UFC record's pretty trash. Like, I think he only has his last one's the win. And guess who his wins to? We're going to check in a second. So lost to Chidi Inchwani, beat this guy, which we don't know. Lost to CLD, lost to Mansour, lost to Racing to beat. Oh, Jose Daniel Medina. Oh my, how did he beat him? No way. Yeah, pretty not great record in the UFC against decent guys. But Robert Valentin at the same time has had losses to decent guys as well. Okay, well, this is not what I thought it was. Obviously lost to Loader, which is not a great win. Not a great loss. Lost to Finney, which was a horrible fight to watch. And then lost to Gauthier, which is fine. And he beat this LeBlanc guy who's kind of trash, so. Damn, I knew he was 0-3, but I thought his losses were better. I knew the Gautier one. I forgot about these two, to be honest. And I know LeBlanc's a bomb, and everyone was saying he was going to lose. So I think I literally picked LeBlanc to win, though. That's crazy. What's the odds? Okay, close fight. I was leaning toward Robert Valentine, but now I'm getting scared. Oof. And Tavorovic just submitted Medina in his last fight, and Robert Valentine struggled with the grappling against Finney, so that's what's scaring me now thinking of that. And Medina's obviously a bum, and that's why Dusko beat him, but I'm going to still pick Robert Valentine. That's what I'm leaning towards. Damn, their record's the same almost too. 13-6 and 12-6. Damn. Yeah, I'm going to leave to Robert Valentine. I also want him to win, to be honest. He's making his comeback, and yeah, I hope he wins. I'm going to go with Robert Valentine. Now we're at the top 3 fights, dude. These 3 are bangers, and I know bangers. No, and I know this one people might think's not a banger, but this one's sick. I think this one's sick. Alexander Rakic versus Marcin Tybura. Man! I'm going to go with Alexander Rakic. Oh! He's making his heavyweight debut, and can he take heavyweight power? Absolutely not. I literally picked him to beat Mirzakhanov, and I thought he would actually beat Mirzakhanov, and he got dropped by a jab and covered up. So, that scares me. But the reason I'm picking Rakic here is because it's Marcin Tybura. Marcin Tybura, very slow. Very slow. I don't think he has that one hitter-quitter power that would finish Rakic. Where Mirzakhanov actually had finishing power. I don't think Tybura does. This one's scary though. I'm still scared because if it's Rakic versus Spivak, I just feel Spivak's like the worst ranked, high level ranked heavyweight compared to like Blade slimes Rakic out obviously, and Waldo slimes Rakic out and stuff. But I feel like Spivak would honestly beat Rakic as well. But I think Rakic can beat Tybura. I think he'll probably honestly finish him. I don't know if he's going to go to the grappling, but I think he could knock out Tybura. Tybura had that crafty win over Tyrell Fortune in Seattle. I saw that one until they swapped the cards and fluked it for Tyrell Fortune. But, nah, man. I'm very 50-50 on this one. Because Tybura could just take Rakic down, blob him, hold him down. Because look at their physique, bro. Rakic is ripped. Tybura is just a blob. Tybura might just hold him down if they grapple, which I think he might do, is try to grapple. So it is very scary, I think. But Rakic is on like a 4-fight lose streak. He lost to someone. And then he came back and then lost to Yuri, lost to Magomed, and lost to Mirzakhanov, which are all 3 good losses. Like, you can't hold them against it. Those are 3 really good guys. Even though Yuri just lost and Mirzakhanov just lost and Magomed lost before he just won last weekend. But, those are still good wins, good losses, against good people. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Rakic up at heavyweight. I think Tybura is his easiest high-ranked test. But other than that, I don't think I'm going to pick Rakic. Depending on how he looks at heavyweight in this fight. But yeah, I wanted Rakic. I low-key wanted Rakic to beat Magomed at the time. I want him to beat Mirzakhanov. I really want him to get the win, and so I'm gonna back him finally in this. I'm gonna back him in this one where I think he can actually finally win. But I am still scared. Marcin Tybura could unk it up. Marcin Tybura is also 43, 42, so that's also scary as well. But we're gonna go with Rakic. I'm yapping, but we're gonna go with Rakic. I'm looking at the Tybura money line though. Maybe betting on him because I like the odds, but I think Rakic's gonna win. Co-main event: Jan Blachowicz versus Navajo Sterling. I was gonna pick Jan Blachowicz to beat Bogdan Guskov for the second time in their rematch. This one's actually got me stuck. And sitting here now, I'm still not even sold on who I'm going to pick. Navajo, starting with Navajo, obviously, he's 0-5 in the UFC now, which is kind of crazy. Wait, 5-0 in the UFC, hold up. Let's get the numbers right. But honestly, going to a decision with Tuco Tokos, going to a decision with Brendanson. No, it wasn't Brendanson. Who were the bums he went to decision to? He went to a decision with 3 bums. And I was like, bro, how are you going to decisions? Tuco Tokos, even Urslan, and Rodolfo Bellato. These 3 he should have finished. These 3 guys I felt like he should have finished. And then he fought Lopez, which he finally finished him. This was in Seattle. This one was sick to see. Finished Lopez, obviously. And then this was actually a tough test against Kutalaba, where he was having he was getting hit in moments, but Kutalaba just wasn't able to grit down, and he obviously had a moment. I felt like he just quit. And so that's why this is hard to judge as well, because oh my goodness! This one's so hard, and maybe it's not, but to me it's so hard. Jan's 40. Okay, I'm talking about their records. Kutalaba win. Obviously, he was the favorite, and he was getting hit in moments in the first round, but he finished him in the second. But it felt like it was because Kutalaba quit. Kutalaba quit, and so he didn't want no more punishment, and so they stopped the fight because he just covered up. He literally, I think he pulled him on top of him against the fence and then covered up. And Navajo is good, 10-0, but I feel like this is a big jump up for how fresh he is. Because his only Bruno Lopez he finished, but that's still a bum. His first good test was Ion Kutalaba, who quit. And so that's the upside I see of Navajo, but also the downside with Jan Blachowicz. The upside, he is a very good light heavyweight, and he had a very good performance in his last fight against Guskov. He literally won rounds 1 and 3, dropped Guskov in the at the end of the 3rd round, I remember. But the only thing that held him up was the grappling. He was taken down by he got knocked down by Guskov, and then held down by Guskov. And sorry, not held down, beat up on the ground by Guskov. And so that's why it turned into a 10-8 round, and that's why I went to a draw. Otherwise, Jan Blachowicz would have won that. And the downside of Jan Blachowicz, he's 42, 43? I think he's 43 years old now. 42 to 43 years old. And his last 4 fights, he's 0-2-2. He went to a draw with Magomed. He had a loss to Pereira, he had a loss to Carlos Alberg, and he had a draw against Guskov. And obviously, I feel like everyone says this. The Magomed fight, he probably should have lost, honestly, so fair enough. The Alex Pereira fight was close, but he did lose it. The Alberg fight was close. I felt like he could have won the Alberg fight, honestly. But Alberg's now the champ, so that's a good aging loss. And the Guskov fight was a draw, but technically he would have won if it was a no 10-8 round. He would have won rounds 1 and 3. And the fact he came back after that beating in round 2, in round 3 to win that round and drop Guskov, so it's like one of his losses he could have won, but he got 10-8'd, so it went to a draw. The Alberg fight, I feel like he should have won, but it's a loss. The Pereira fight, he could have won, but I felt like I felt like Alex did win it. And he should have lost the Magomed fight, but it went to a draw, so it's very back and forth. It's very hard, dude. It's very hard. And, off rip, it's like Navajo Sterling wins. Off rip. But I don't even know what Navajo's ranked. Is he ranked 15 and he's fighting the number 4 guy? This one's very tough. I'm 100% betting money on Jan Blachowicz because of how the odds are. He's like a 3-point-something underdog. But this one I'm still so stuck up on. I'm leaning towards Navajo Sterling. Just because he's the younger guy, the undefeated guy. Oh my gosh, dude. But I just would feel so dumb if I picked Navajo and Jan just puts on a masterclass because he's Unk, and he just shows Navajo's what's up. And the problem with Navajo is on the Contender Series, he had that knockout, but since then, he doesn't show he has that knockout power to finish Jan Blachowicz. Oh my days. I am so... Ah! Oh my gosh, dude. What the piss? I think my official pick's going to be Jan Blachowicz, which is kind of crazy. And now, even though I did the upsides and downsides of both guys, I'm going to drop the upsides of Jan Blachowicz because I'm picking him. Full camp. He knew he was fighting on this card. Full camp for this card. Navajo stepping in on short notice, which it was, 4 weeks now? Maybe a month's notice. So it's a decent amount of time. You can get some training in, obviously. But shortest notice for Navajo. Navajo's biggest test to this day. And he can't finish people. Now, here's the thing. He finished 3 decisions against bums. He beat Bruno Lopez, and it was a TKO. He just was able to mount him and drop ground and pound, where Lopez wasn't able to fight back. And the Cutelaba fight, I don't even know if he won the first round. I can't remember the fight fully. I knew he was getting hit with shots back, but not like knockdown shots. Just he was getting hit in the fight in the first round. And the only reason I'm still like not sold is because Cutelaba kind of like sat on the ground and just went like this and just covered up as Navajo finished him. Cutelaba could have literally pushed him off and stood up or worked his way back up, but he literally just sat there and accepted the finishing shot. So if it was like a clean win, I'd be more... And I've been on the Navajo Sterling strain since the start. And this is what's also hard, is because I was like, dude, I love Navajo. I was like, dude, he had a good Contender Series fight. Watch this fight. Tuco Taco sucks. And it goes to a decision with him. And I'm like, damn, okay, but he's good. And then he beats, obviously, the other guys, even Arslan. Where I'm pretty sure he was in some trouble in that fight, too. Which I didn't like. And then I was like, yeah, he's good. Watch. And I was surprised he didn't finish Bellato. I was surprised he didn't finish Arslan. I was like, he's going to beat Bruno Lopez, and he finally got a finish. And then I picked him to beat Cutelaba, but I was still 50-50 on the fight. I was like, Cutelaba might clutch up and give him a real test. And so now we're going from number 15 to number 4, Jan Blachowicz. And yes, he's 0-2-2 in his last 4, so it's like hard to pick him. But I think he's going to just show him what light heavyweight's all about. But I can also see Navajo just TKOing Jan, where Jan gets hurt and just gives up also. But I also don't see Navajo knocking Jan Blachowicz clean out. And I could see Jan landing something hard on Sterling. So this hard... Oh, I just yapped for so long about this co-main event. Here, I'm not going to give my reasons because I keep going back and forth and back and forth and forth and back and back and forth and forth and back. Oh! What the piss, dude. I cannot give my reasonings on this fight because I keep picking back and forth. But I'm going with Jan Blachowicz. Official pick, Jan Blachowicz. I'm done talking about it because I'm going to go back and forth. I love you, Navajo. If you win this, I can't even say if you're going to the belt because I haven't even dropped the champion video yet, bro. But I'm picking Magomed Ankalaev to get the belt back. So I don't even know if Navajo beats him, but I like you, Navajo. I like you, bro, okay? I picked you in all last 5 of your fights. I've been riding you since the Contender Series, and I'm sorry I'm switching up on you. I just feel Jan Blachowicz is going to put something on here. And if he doesn't, I never switched up on you. You're my boy still, and we're getting that title, but you're going to lose to Magomed. Anyway, I hate picking this fight, bro. I'm going with Jan Blachowicz. Main event. Uros Medic versus Daniel Rodriguez. I'm picking Daniel Rodriguez. I'm not even trolling. I'm picking Daniel Rodriguez, bro. I'm picking Daniel D-Rod Rodriguez to beat Uros Medic. Now, Let me explain myself, please. Dude, I'm still thinking about the Cowan event. And the thing that... Uruz Medic is kill or be killed. So, he's going to go out there, and he's going to slime out Rodriguez in the first round. Or he's going to get slimed out. So, that's why I feel like Daniel Rodriguez does have a decent chance, and why he's even on my radar picking him to win. Daniel Rodriguez, obviously, he was in jail, so he's coming out of jail. He's coming off of over a year layoff, where Medic fought back in February, so more active, obviously. But Rodriguez is coming out of jail. I feel like he's got that chip on his shoulder, and he's coming off that great win against Kevin Holland, where everyone counted him out. I remember that card because I think I picked Kevin Holland. I didn't record videos at the time for prediction-wise, I don't think, at the time, so I don't have a real way to find out who I picked. I'm pretty sure I picked Kevin Holland, but I did make a parlay, I remember, with Michael Johnson and Daniel Rodriguez, and that's when Michael Johnson beat Zellhuber and when Rodriguez beat Holland, and they're both big underdogs, and they both clutched up. I remember that day, bro. It was beautiful. I was like, there's no way these both just hit. Oh, my days. But I think I picked Kevin Holland to win the fight. But coming off a great win against Kevin Holland, he did get hurt in that fight in the later rounds, to be honest, but he was cracking him. And the fact he was cracking Holland, I feel like he has the chance to crack Medic. And as I said, Medic is do or die. He's kill or be killed. And so if he gets hit, he's going to be going out. And as I said earlier, he fought that Gilbert guy, and Gilbert dropped him in like the first 30 seconds of the fight. And he obviously came back to win the fight, right? But he's a glass cannon. That's the best definition. He has no chin, but he also will chin you. And there is a bit of, there's a bit of like, this guy beat Jeff Neal, man. And I love Jeff Neal, so it hurts to see that he beat Jeff Neal, to be honest. But the only thing that scares me about this Daniel Rodriguez pick is the layoff, how long he's been out, as well as it's in Serbia, and it just feels like the picture-perfect moment for Uruz Medic to fight in Serbia. First card in Serbia. He's the Serbian fighter. He gets his first main event in Serbia, and he wins this fight. I just see... It just seems too perfect for Uruz Medic to lose this fight. But I do think Daniel Rodriguez wins. And the craziest part is, Daniel Rodriguez, 20-5. That... When I saw that record, it shocked my mind. I was like, wait, what? I was like, I thought Daniel Rodriguez is some kind of bum. I thought this guy's 20-11. He's 20-5? And his losses are to, like, Ian Gary. Okay. His losses are to Ian Gary. Let me just quickly look. Because all 5 of his losses are in the UFC, which shows he's UFC caliber. That he only loses to guys in the UFC. He's on a little 3-fight win streak too. Moreno's not a great win. Ponzinibbio's not a great win, but it was a great knockout. And Holland's a great win though. But his losses, Gastelum, I feel like is one of his worst losses. Like it's like, damn, he lost to Gastelum. But that's still not a bad loss. Ian Gary, not a bad loss. Neil Magny, Neil Magny crafts it up. Look at round 3. So round 3, Neil Magny. What the piss, That's not a bad loss. He beat Kevin Lee. He beat the Leech. He beat Mike Perry. He lost to Dalby. That's one of his bad losses, sorry. But Dalby's still decent, man. And who's his other loss? Okay, well, maybe he only has one loss outside the UFC. But yeah, lost to Nicholas Dalby. That's not great, but Dalby's still decent. Lost to Magny in round 3. How are you supposed to hate on that? Ian Gary, title contender, fighting for the title literally in 2 weeks after. And Gastelum, that's not a bad loss, but it's not great, obviously, right? His losses aren't bad. And with Medic, I think he only has one loss in the UFC. Oh, he lost to Oralby. Okay, all of his losses. Turner, that's not a bad loss, to be honest. Oralby, that's not a bad loss either, to be honest. And Soriano, he won his fight since then, so I guess it's not a bad loss, but he literally got chinned in 31 seconds, which is crazy. And then obviously beat Urbina, Sally Cowan, Neil Manny. So he's on a little cheeky 3-fight win streak too. Him and Dan Rodriguez, 3-fight win streak. So I feel like both their losses are honestly forgivable. Jalen Turner, fair enough. Oralby, fair enough. Soriano's not as valid, but I feel like Gastelum and Dalby aren't as valid as well for Rodriguez. So it is a very close fight, to be honest. This is a very good win for Medic, though. But Holland is a very good win for Rodriguez as well. So even though he's a 50-50, like, not great, people are always like, Kevin Holland, is he going to come to fight? Oh, man, I'm yapping so much. This honestly might be my longest prediction video because the co-main event held me up so much, and this one's holding me up too. It's not holding me up. I'm picking Daniel Rodriguez, and I'm going to put some money on Rodriguez because I feel like that's good odds. It's just the layoff, obviously, but other than that, his record's great. Uros' Medic's record's decent as well, obviously, but I feel like 20-5 is good, and his 5 losses are to decent competition. And the fact that Uros Medic, if Uros Medic never been knocked out, like 3 decisions, I feel like this would be different. The fact he got knocked out by Punelli Soriano in 31 seconds is crazy. And obviously, whatever, his other 2 losses, whatever. He got submitted in both of them. So they're like, he's getting finished in these fights. And I feel like Rodriguez could finish him with the punches he was throwing on Holland, cracking him and dropping him. Those would probably finish Medic. The finishing sequence he has on Santiago Ponzinibbio, like that 6-piece competition, that's chinny Uros Medic out cold. And what was his other one? Moreno. I don't remember that fight 100%. But yeah, man, I'm going with Daniel Rodriguez to spoil Uros Medic's homecoming party in Serbia as the Serbian fighter in the main event. But yeah, I'm very ready to get both these wrong. I'm ready for Sterling and Medic to win, as they are decent sized favorites, so it makes sense. And even Tybura to win. Like, these 3, if I get them wrong, I get it, man, to be honest, but I think that's what's honestly going to happen. So, for the official predictions, I got rid of them, but I have this here. I'm going to go with Stephanie Luciano. I'm going to go with Leka. I'm going to go with Nina. I'm going to go with Rebecki. I'm going to go with Bogdan Grad. I'm going to go with this Nikolic guy. I'm going to go with Oliveira. I'm going to go with Klein. And then on the main card, I'm going to go with Milos Janicic. I'm going to go with Vlasto Cepo. I'm going to go with Robert Valentin, Alexander Rakic, Jan Blachowicz, and Daniel Rodriguez. Those are the picks. Predictions wise, we went 7-7 on the Holloway McGregor card. We went 7-7 on that card. We went 8-4 on Duplessis versus Usman, which was a better card for us. And then on the Ankalaev Ankalaev Guskov fight, we went 10-2. So we've been doing better every week on picks. So the only problem here is we can only get one wrong, or we get a perfect card. With the Jan Blachowicz and Rodriguez, it is iffy, obviously, but I do think they will win. And so those are the picks, man. I appreciate anyone who watched any part of this video. If you watch this entire video, put a B emoji in the comments if you actually watch this whole video, because what the piss. Thank you for watching, because this is probably my longest prediction video because I had a lot to talk about, a lot to yap about, right? So I appreciate y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I appreciate y'all. We will see the fights this weekend. And yeah, man. this is a good card. I'm excited for it. And then obviously we have Gamrot South killed after. That's pretty sick. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in probably. I got a couple of videos planned. I don't know when they're dropping, but yeah, we'll probably see you guys in the recap video, obviously. So yeah, deuces.